What's going on, good people? Welcome to the After Effects Showtime's college football final. I am your host, LeBron Stephen, but you can call me LBZ, L Boogie, Big Brown, B Brown, LB, Barani. The choice is yours. And y'all already know the deal. We're going to dive right into it. Week 3, the college football final. I really thought thus far week 3 has been the best week out of the first 3 weeks of the season. First on the docket, we have UGA, number 6 UGA at number 15 Tennessee. I really thought Joey Aguilar, balled his ass off throwing for 4 touchdowns. Kudos to that guy. I thought he really balled out. It was a 38-38 game. Chance to take the lead and the kicker, phased to the right. Overtime, and I thought overtime really gave Georgia an opportunity to win the game, but Tennessee had their chances, especially playing on their home field. Ultimately, UGA won 44-41 with the go-ahead touchdown. From what I saw, they ran 3 straight plays, very physical, no pass plays to win that game. UGA Gunner Stockton threw for 304 yards, 3 total touchdowns, 2 passing, 1 rushing. Really thought he balled out. And if you watch the film from how Gunner Stockton played last year versus this year, I mean, clearly has developed and clearly has gotten better. So definitely eager to see how Tennessee bounces back. I mean, to be honest, again, in my opinion, I thought that thus far that's been the game this season so far, game of the year. So, we'll have to see how week 4 through week 12 and the playoffs go. But thus far, that's been the game of the year. I thought that was a really great game. Next on the docket, you got number 16 Texas A&M versus number 8 Notre Dame. If you saw the warm-ups, it got a bit chippy. Some back and forth going on, but ultimately, Texas A&M won 41-40 on a last-minute go-ahead touchdown. I know Notre Dame and Marcus Freeman are kicking themselves. They fumbled that snap on the extra point, or it would have been a tie game. So that's kind of how Texas A&M were able to edge them out. Come on, Notre Dame. You had one job, literally. Snap the ball, kick the extra point, you go into another overtime. But they couldn't get it done, and they took the L. Next on the docket, we got number 12, Clemson versus Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech came in unranked. Clemson was number 12, and Georgia Tech got the win, 24-21. Longest field goal in program history, 55 yards. Shout out to Georgia Tech, GA Tech's kicker. Definitely think because of this loss, Clemson is going to fall out of the top 25. I guess, we'll have to wait and see. But, we came into the season thinking that Dabo Swinney was going to have those guys humming. And, after the first couple of weeks, they just haven't been able to get the job done, right? So I think that was a massive loss for Clemson. So we got to see how those guys bounce back. Next game we got on the docket, number 5, Miami versus 18, South Florida. Miami absolutely demolished South Florida, 49-12. I would say I really think that Mario Cristobal, really has those guys humming and flying around, man. Just absolute demolition job. Miami gave it to South Florida. This was a top 20 matchup, right? South Florida was ranked 18, and, there was some hype surrounding that game. And, everyone thought that this would be, a true top 20 game and go back and forth and, high level competition, but just didn't look to be that way. Carson Beck led those guys, and, they damn near put up 50 on the scoreboard. So shout out to the U. Next, we got number 3, LSU versus Florida. LSU hedged out the win 20-10. Florida quarterback DJ Lagway had 3 interceptions. There's absolutely no way you're going to win any games in Division I college football throwing 3 interceptions. So hopefully, Lagway can turn his season around, but he did not have a good game. And, I think that was a massive teller to why LSU was able to, get that win. So hoping that, Florida can bounce back. I believe they had Miami in week 4. So it'll be interesting to see how they can bounce back and try to go 1-0, but shout out to LSU, number 3 in the country. So kind of eager to see, how those guys continue to develop and try to go 1-0 each season. Next game we got on the docket, number 11, South Carolina versus Vanderbilt. South Carolina won 31-7, but I don't think the win was the biggest announcement. Quarterback Lenore Sellers went out in the second quarter after he took a shot, and we're all presuming that he went into concussion protocol. So how long is he going to be out? He was 6 for 7, and he was balling, doing what he do, and he went out the game in the second quarter. Luckily, South Carolina was still able to pull out the win. But on the draft boards right now, they have Sellers ranked pretty high. I mean, he's killing it. Just with his running and his leadership and his passing as well. So hopefully he's not in concussion protocol for too long. He's able to, get back on that field and lead South Carolina to, some more wins. Last game that, I have on my list, number 17, Alabama over Wisconsin. I think this game got a lot of viewership because everyone wanted to see how Alabama was going to bounce back, right? They came out and didn't play that well, in their first game and got whooped by Florida State. So everyone wanted to see how Alabama would bounce back. It came back and beat Wisconsin 38 to 14. Ryan Williams had a massive game, 5 catches for 165 yards, 3 touchdowns. So definitely, Alabama kind of looked like the Alabama of old, in that game. So eager to see, just how they continue to develop, how the defense continues to develop, how Ryan, what type of season is Ryan Williams going to have, and how the coach, the board can continue to lead those guys. So that is all I had for college football week 3 this week. If you're watching on LeBron Daniel TV on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel and turn your notifications on. If you're listening anywhere that you get your pods, please subscribe to our pod and give us a listen. Every single week during the college football season, we will be dropping episodes to just quickly kind of discuss our opinions on how the games went and how the week went, and also kind of look forward and look at that next week. So what do I think was the after effect of week 3, right? One thing that stands out to me is obviously Alabama bouncing back and getting a win in the win column after they didn't play so good in that week 1. And second, my second after effect would be Georgia. Who's going to beat them? I mean, like I said, I thought Georgia and Tennessee was a game of the year so far, top 15 matchup, and Georgia really came to play, went into overtime, and they were able to beat a more physical team and get the win. So definitely, I think those 2 games were kind of the after effect of week 3, and now we can look forward to week 4. So I'll see you all next week.